everyone, welcome back to Ike's Empire. My name is Hope. If you're seeing my channel for the first time, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this beautiful shirred pants. I'm going to be sharing the tips, the tricks with you guys. You see it has layers, 2 flare at the bottom, so sit tight, let's start. Okay guys, so we'll be starting by taking our measurement, and the first one we'll be needing is our round waist measurement. So you go ahead and take your tape rule and just take it around your waist and measure it. Get a book and your pen and just write it down somewhere, round waist first. Now, the next one we'll be measuring will be our round hip. So you see the way I'm placing it around my hips, just go ahead and do that. And the next measurement after that will be our waist to hip measurement. Place it and write it down. After that, you measure from your waist to where you want the pants to stop. This is your inseam measurement. Put it from one end of your waist to the other end at the back and divide it by 2. That's how we're going to be getting our crotch today. So write that down somewhere, okay? Now, let's move on to the next measurement, and that will be our round thigh. So just go ahead and measure your round thigh, and that will be all for the measurements. So now we have our fabric folded in 2. The first measurement we're going to be taking is measuring out the length of the shirred pants where you want it to stop without the flare. So mine is 24. As you can see, I'm marking 24 all round, and then I'm going to just use my ruler to just rule a straight line across. So go ahead and do that. Where you want your shirring to stop, go ahead and mark it. And I'm just using my chalk right now to make it very bold so you guys can see. And the next thing we'll be doing is you go up by 1.5 inch to mark your band. So me, I'm not using a band, but this is going to be our hemming to fold it. Okay, so I'm using 1.5 inch because we're going to fold it in. Okay, go ahead and rule that line as well. Oh yeah, I'm waiting for you guys. Do that now. So rule that line, and then after that, the next measurement will be taken, okay? We'll go ahead and place our tape on that waist, the length measurements that you took. Now you're going to measure your round hip divided by 4, not your waist, your round hip divided by 4. And after that, you will go ahead and measure your waist to your hip measurement. Remember, we measured our waist to hip. Go ahead and mark that. And mine is 11. I'll just mark it across, and then I'll rule it out with my ruler to make it a line there. Just rule it out. That's your waist to your hip measurement. Rule it out. And now the next thing, I'm going ahead now to label it, and that becomes my hip line. And after that, we'll go ahead and measure our crotch. Remember, we did the inseam divided by 2. My inseam was 30. Divided by 2 gave me 15 because, you know, your girl is endowed. So that made it 15. So go ahead. That's from my waist to 15. That became my crotch. I'll go ahead and rule that out now. So basically, we are done with all our, is it vertical or horizontal line now? I'll go ahead and label that as my crotch. So on my hip line, I will mark my hip divided by 4. I'll just mark it there and leave it. Okay, remember on our waistline, we did not do our waist divided by 4. We did our hip divided by 4 as well. We need as much space that we can get because this is going to be a shirred pant. Now go ahead and rule that line together. Connect the hip line that you measured on the waist and the line on the hip. Now to get our crotch, you would divide that your crotch by 4. You divide your hip by 4, and then add 2 inches. That is how you get your crotch. Now on that your hip, connect it to your crotch. You see, using the curve ruler, I was able to connect mine to the crotch. So I'm just going ahead now to make sure that my measurements are correct, to be sure that, oh, the measurement I got on my book is correct. Now on your hip line, you go ahead and add 4 inches because we want the fabric to have enough space. Remember, we're going to be sharing it. And when you share the Ankara it becomes small. So that's why we're adding 4 inches. If you're on the bigger side, you can go ahead and add 5 inches or 6 inches, okay? But for me, I'm adding 4 inches, and you just connect it to your crotch line. Don't worry, everything will still fall back in place, because by the time you share it, it's going to become smaller. Me, I like to label so I don't forget which part is which part. So you see, I just wrote free there, like the free allowance, and then I will just go down and measure my hip divided by 4, which is 11, and then I'll add the 4 inches that I added on the other side. I'll add it and just maybe add like an extra inch or 2 extra inch to connect. At the end of the day, by the time you share it, it's going to all make sense, okay? Then just connect it, and we are literally done with the front part. We're literally done cutting our front piece. So you can actually use this to cut your pattern, but be sure to label. You see, I'm labeling mine as the front, and now I'm just going ahead to cut it out. And with this front part, you can use it to cut your back piece. Now, cutting my back piece, I had to fold my Ankara into 2. The same thing I did for my front. Fold your Ankara in 2. And then just place your front piece, the one that you did already, place it on the back piece. But don't place it exactly. Make sure you leave like maybe an inch or 1.5 inch away from the side seam. So when you place it, on the crotch, go ahead and extend your crotch by either 2 inches or 2.5 inches. That's for the back. And now you're going to connect it. You're going to connect it to the bottom part, and then from there, you connect it to your waist. You can use your free hand if you're very good with that. But if you have a curved ruler, just go ahead and use your curved ruler to connect it, to give you that zazz, to give you that clean cut. And on the waist side, on your side seam part, you will go up by 1 inch. Go up by 1 inch. You know that our body is not straight, it's curved. So go up by 1 inch just on the back part, and then connect it down to the center waist. Okay, connect it down to just drew like a slant line, like you're doing shoulder slants, but this time on your pants. Go ahead and do that on that, and then cut it out. So basically, you're done with your cutting your back piece and cutting your front piece. Okay, now go ahead and label it as back. Keep it aside. Remember, we're going to be having a flare. We're having flare at the bottom. We're having 2 layered flare at the bottom. So depending on you, how you want your own to be full, you can cut it how long you want it. Mine, the longer one, at this point, I was just calculating how long I want it to be. The longer one, I think I made it 24. I think I made it 21, and then the shorter one, I made it 12. So just half and half. You can decide how long you want yours to be. If you want it to be very full, cut it that way. And then just make sure you cut 2 pieces. Okay, cut 2 pieces. That's what I did for that longer one. And now I'm just doing the same thing for the shorter one, because at the end of the day, it's going to give you 4 pieces. Please let me know if I'm too fast in the comment section, and then we'll go ahead to, I can make it slower in the next video. We're all doing this YouTube together. So you see, the shorter one for me is 12 inches. And then I have 2 pieces because I have 2 legs. And then for the longer one, I'll do the same as well. And just keep it aside. So placing the short one on top of the front one, I just want to show you guys how it's going to look by the time you're done. So imagine when you're done gathering it together, because it's now going to be in gathers. Okay, by the time you're done gathering it together, this is how it's going to look. It's going to give you this very fine 2-layered like pleat skirts or pleat skirt, on the leg part. Okay, so just keep it aside as well. And basically, we're done cutting. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we are starting the sewing phase. We'll go to our machine and just sew. You see that crotch line? You go ahead and connect the two back piece, connect it together. You see, I'm just pinning this is the back piece. You can notice, if you notice, it's bigger than the front one. I'll just connect the two together and sew it. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just, putting thread on my bobbin. So now, because it's going to be shared, I'm going to be showing you how to roll your elastic thread on your bobbin. Don't use your machine to do it, okay? Use your hand to roll your. I know it's going to take a lot of time, but guys, no pain, no gain, like they always say. Just go ahead and roll it on your bobbin. Now, on this part, the next thing we're going to do, we'll go ahead and sew our crotch line, take it to the sewing machine and just sew it all round, okay? And then after that, you will go ahead, you see that top part, your waist part, go ahead and fold it. Okay, just fold it in, because by the time we're done shirring, you want it to have a neat finishing. Okay, you want your waist to be neat. You don't want, then that's when you're going to start folding your waist. So go ahead, just and fold it down, and use your machine to run a thread through. Okay, just sew it through. You can fold it this way, half an inch first, and just run your machine through it. Right now, I'm sewing the crotch first on my machine. I'm sewing the crotch part first, and then when I'm done sewing the crotch, I'll go ahead and notch it. Make sure to notch, because it's like a curve. If you don't notch it, it's going to form that guard that is not going to be free. So just use your scissors and notch it. Okay guys, so this is something that is very important. To sew this your crotch together, you'll be using your regular thread in your bobbin, not your elastic thread, okay? Your regular thread. You see, that's why it's not stretchy. The crotch is not stretchy. You put your regular thread on the bobbin. So I'm done notching. Now the next thing I'm doing, you see, I'm folding the waist part and just sewing it. I'm just hemming, like making it a neat pant, and I'll do the same thing with the back. Okay, I'm done with the front. Now you do the same thing that you did in the front for the back. The same thing you did at the front, you do it at the back, okay? Sew your crotch first, then hem the waistline. Sew your crotch first, then hem the waistline. That's what we're doing, okay? So do that for the back as well. So yeah, I'm just sewing it. And after that, I had to switch my machine. I didn't use the brother machine anymore. I had to use my industrial machine, because my industrial machine is way faster than the brother machine. And I know that I'm going to be sewing a lot of shared lines on the the front part of the pant and the back part of the pant. So I wanted it to be fast. This is me just fixing the elastic thread in the bobbin. Now, this is when you need the elastic thread. The elastic thread goes in the bobbin, but the upper thread is going to be a regular thread. Okay, and I'm just setting my machine to, I'm just setting it to 4. Okay, so if you're using an industrial machine, this is what you would use. All right, and now I've gathered some parts already. So you see my upper thread, I'm going to say it again. My upper thread is my regular black thread, the one that doesn't stretch, but the one in my bobbin is the one that stretches. Okay, so if you have another kind of machine, that's the same thing that you would do. Your upper thread will be your regular thread, and the under thread would be your elastic thread. So right now I'm just doing my gathers. You spread it and then automatically, because the elastic thread is on the bobbin, it gathers it for you, okay, and then makes it elastic. And that's what I'm going to do for both the front part and the back part that I joined together. So you see why I had to join them first, because I wanted the shirt to just run through the two sides together, okay. So by the time you're done sharing, it should be looking like this. You see, it's already stretching, guys. Are you not excited? It's already stretching, but I still have more to go. So I have to go back and continue. You're going to need your bottle of water. If you're watching something, which is me, go ahead and just, keep your YouTube video and just, be sewing it, because yes, you're going to need your bottle of water. Just go ahead and keep on sewing, okay? At this point, I'm literally done with the front part. I'm already done sharing this part. You see, it's stretchy. Now I have to do the back part. So make sure you stretch yours to make sure that it's stretching. The elastic is working and everything is giving what it's supposed to give. Okay. Now I'm just spreading the, so yeah, I actually shared the back part. Now this is the front part. I'm showing you what it's going to look like before you share it. You see, I've sewn the crotch together and that's what it's looking. Now look at how small it actually looks by the time you're done sharing it. You see how small it looks? That's why we added that 4 extra inch to it, because we need that extra ease. Okay, if you do it at your exact measurement, by the time you're done sharing, it's going to be too tight. It might not even enter your body. Okay, now I'm done sharing the front part. Now I have the two together. What I'm going to do now is place the right sides facing each other. Right sides facing each other, and I'm going to sew that inseam together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Now I'm just pinning it. I'll connect the front and the back and I'll go sew it together. Okay, so you do the right sides facing each other, guys. Right sides facing each other, right sides facing each other, and just pin it. Okay, and then go ahead to sew it. When you're done sewing, you bring it and let's see what it looks like. So the next thing to do here is, those the other straight fabric that you cut to use for your flare. Yes, so now you're going to pick the longer parts. You can go ahead and hem all of them. Just hem the edges because you don't want to have a rough edge. So you see mine is 22 inches. The longer one is 22 inch. And the width, I think it was about 22 inch as well, folded though. Now I'm going to open it. You see, that's the front part. And the shorter one is about, I think after I folded it, it was about 11.5 inch because I hemmed the edges already. Now I'm just measuring to show you guys what it looks like. Yeah, so that's the hem I was telling you about. Go ahead and fold the hem and sew it so that it has like a clean finish. You can do that for all the 4 parts. Remember, 2 goes on one leg and the other 2 go on the other leg. Now I'm just going to place it the way I want it to look on the pants. You place the shorter piece on top of the longer piece, because that is how it's going to look. Okay, so you place the shorter piece on top of the longer piece. Now I have 2 elastic cuts. I just folded it round my thigh, round my leg to see how tight it is, and then I cut 2 pieces because that's what I'm going to use to gather the short piece and the long piece together. I'm gathering the 2 together. I'm not doing one after the other. You see, I'm actually watching a movie while sewing this because that sharing took a whole long time. Now I'm gathering the 2 together. I'm not gathering one piece after the other to now connect them. No, I'm gathering both the short flare and then the long piece together. I'm gathering the 2 together. Now I'm done gathering. So this is what it looks like. This is the back. This is the inside. Okay. This is what it's going to look like. And then this is the front. You see, I joined the 2 together. This is the front piece. The longer one is under and then the shorter one is on top. Just do it like you're making a flare skirt. Okay. You're doing a 2-layer flare skirt. So the shorter one is on top of the longer one. And now I'm done with the 2. I've gone ahead to do the second one outside of the camera. And then this is what it actually looks like. You see, it's actually giving everything it's supposed to give. That's one leg, and that's the other one right here. Okay, this is the other one right here. It's still 2-layered, and it's looking so beautiful already. It's looking so beautiful. Now the next thing we're going to do is actually take one of this, and then we're going to take this, and attach it to the shared pants that we made already. Okay, you see, I've already gone to attach one side. That's what you see, it's already looking like what we want. Right now, this is what we're going to do. The right side, remember the right side of this fabric, you will take it and place it on the right side of the shared pants. Okay, the same way you do your normal seam that you don't want the lines to show or the rough edges to show. So just place the two right sides facing each other. The right side of the flare facing the right side of the shared pants. Okay, like as I'm doing here, and just go ahead and pin it down. You pin it down and take it to your sewing machine and just run a thread through it. Right now, I'm just going ahead to pin so it's easy for me to join together, and I will do that all around. I think I just did 3 pins, one at one side, the other at the other end, and then in the middle. So you see, you just go to your machine and just run a thread through, and when you're done running it, is going to look like this. You see, when you now turn it to the front, it's going to give you that clean finish at the front. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, because I already closed the side of one side of the pants, now we have to close the second side. Remember, this pant doesn't need a zip. Okay, so it was easy for me to close one side, and now I'm going to be closing the other side. This is the front. Actually, I would have to turn my pants over to the other side. Now I'm just going to turn my pants. Just do like you're turning it over to the wrong side. Okay, so you can sew and close the other side of the pants. Okay, I don't know if that is explanatory enough. So just turn it over. You see, this is the wrong side because you can see all the elastic and everything. Now go ahead and pin the side all through from the waist to the bottom parts of the trouser, from the waist to the floor length. For me, I like to pin the points. Let's say the waist, I need it to align together. The 2 points where the flare starts, I like to align it together, and then the end part, I like to align it together. Now just go to your sewing machine and run a thread through. We're literally done, like super done. You see, it didn't take all that time to do this shared pants with flare. Just now I'm so done, and it's already looking super beautiful. All I have to do is iron in, put on my makeup, and then I'm good to go. So you can try this, make it for yourself. You can make it for your customers. If you have a ready to wear business or a made to order business, it's something that you can do. You can wear this in the summertime with a crop top, with very nice top, and you see the Ankara is really giving. It's not just one color print. You can wear with a black top, white top, red top, yellow top, and this is the pants. Basically, we're done. I just had to do this so I know this is the back, because remember, it doesn't have a zip, and I need to know, and it's shared, so I need to be able to determine which is the back of the pants. So literally, you see, it's elastic, so it's going to enter your waist even without a zip, and that's very easy to make, because at that point, you know, it's going to fit your customers, it's going to fit you. But I would advise you try it for yourself first. For me, I used 3 yards of fabric for this pant. The down part for the flare, I used 1 yard, and then for the shared part, I used 2 yards. I basically used 1 yard for the front, 1 yard for the back. That's how I was able to get to use my 3 yards. And this is the pant, guys. Tell me that it's not beautiful, because I know it is. It's giving, it's stretchy at the top, and it's 2-layered flare at the bottom. You can be very creative with yours. You can make your short layer maybe another color to match with the color of top you're going to be wearing. You can make it a red fabric or a yellow fabric, but guys, when I tell you, this came out beautiful. It was hugging me in all the areas. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please go and subscribe. Thank you guys. Love you. And make sure you try yours. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.